All right, good snowy morning to you. I can't believe I am saying that. I am Andrea Mock. We are very happy to see you this morning, and I know you are very happy to see the snow. I can't believe it. We got 2 inches of snow right here in Columbia. We want to send things over to our meteorologist, Daniel Bonds, who went home just to take a small nap last night. And if you're like me, Daniel, nobody got to bed early because the kids, once they saw the snow, it was donezo for early bedtimes.
Yeah, my 12-year-old really didn't remember snow, so he enjoyed this a lot. I mean, the last time we really had any kind of significant snowfall in Columbia was 8 years ago. The last time we've had even a trace of snowfall in the capital city was back in 2017. So significant snow did fall across the Midlands late last night and early this morning. Our satellite radar composite over the last 12 hours confirms what we saw and what we're currently seeing across the Palmetto State. Still do have some clouds out there, but the sunshine is trying to peek through. If you've been outside this morning, you've seen a few areas where we've got a little bit of blue sky, and that's going to be the case as we work our way through the rest of the afternoon hours. That sunshine will reappear later today. No winter weather advisories or alerts or watches or warnings or anything like that. Those were all allowed to expire early this morning, but the National Weather Service does have this special statement that will continue this morning for the chance for slick roads, and that may include some black ice. So really probably you want to hold off on traveling this morning unless you really absolutely have to at this point, because there is still some slick spots obviously, and there may be some black ice as well. We talk about black ice sometimes. It's just regular ice. It's hard to see. It looks like the rest of the road, and it does form when you have some snow and it kind of melts on the roadway and then it refreezes, or any kind of ice or that sort of thing, and melts and then refreezes, and typically does form on bridges, overpasses, and shaded roads. So those will be the areas in particular you may need to watch if you are going to be traveling this morning. As we get to the afternoon hours, that threat for black ice should decrease with the sunshine. Yesterday, the Columbia Metropolitan Airport did set a daily record for snow, 2 inches, largest snowfall we've had since February 12th, 2014. The old record for January 21st was only 1/10 of an inch, and that was back in 1983. Here are some of the other snow reports that we've gotten so far. Now, we'll get a few more of these, but this is what we've gotten so far as of 8:30. Camden reported 3 inches, Lexington a little over 2.5, Blythewood about 2.5, Irmo a little over 2, Ridgeway 2 inches, up in Bishopville, Little Mountain, and Winnsboro 2 inches as well. That's actually my report from Winnsboro. It looked like we had about 2 inches this morning as I was coming into the station. Forest Acres about 1.5 inches, and the Gamecock City about 1 inch of snow. We took all those, at least reports, and kind of made a map with the estimates here. It looks like the highest totals probably up towards Kershaw County, about 3 inches there. In this purple area, 2 to 3 inches. This little blue area, 1 to 2, and the light blue area, talking a trace to maybe up to 1 inch of snow in those areas. Do know down in Orangeburg, Calhoun County, got a little bit of freezing rain, but it was very light. For the rest of the day, we are expecting high temperatures, upper 30s to near 40 degrees. Very cold tonight, lows dropping down into the low 20s. Some of those traditionally colder spots may drop into the teens. And then Sunday afternoon, we do expect highs to climb up to about 48 degrees, so still running below normal for this time of the year. But another cold day, but it will melt away some of that snow. We'll take another look at your forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Andrea?
All right, Daniel, thank you so much. So to keep up with the latest on the weather here in the Midlands, make sure you download our News 19 weather app. You can watch live coverage and you can see your updated forecasts. And my favorite way, honestly, to follow is to follow on Twitter. Everybody on our team does a fantastic job of tweeting out the latest pictures and conditions. You follow Efren, Daniel, Alex, and Corey, and then make sure you are also following along News 19 on Facebook and Instagram. Now, the best part of our day here at News 19 is seeing your pictures. Did your kids make a snowman? Did they go out and do their first snow angel? Is your backyard fountain maybe a little frozen? We want to see all of your pictures, so text them to us, 803-776-9508. Make sure to put your name on the pictures and where you are watching from. Look at somebody out in a t-shirt. You need a jacket if you're out in the snow. You can also share them on our Facebook page for Weather Watchers. This is also a really easy way to do this. Just go to WLTX Weather Watchers on Facebook and you can share your picture. But again, make sure to say where you are posting from. All right, we love it when you are our reporter in the field, but of course we have got you covered with reporters all over the Midlands. And we want to start off with News 19's Ty Wong, who spent the night out in Winnsboro, and y'all were waiting to see some action up there. I see you definitely saw the snow. What's it like this morning, Ty?
Yeah, that's right, Andrea. We definitely did see the snow here in downtown Winnsboro. Now, I also want to show you these roads right now. These roads did not look like this even 8 hours ago. It was completely white. It was completely slushed and icy. But right now, they did clear it off. Just moments ago, we saw 2 plow trucks come by, cleared it out, whatever was left right there. And you can see right there, there's actually another plow truck just driving by. But yes, the roads look pretty clear, but I do also want to show you guys this right now. I know there are some secondary roads that may have not been treated yet, and you might just think it's snow. But if you want to look right here, we did brush some of the snow away. This is straight ice, you guys. So the fact that, it's a little hard, let me go to an area that's less, visible. Right here, this is straight up ice. You can't even tell, besides the fact that my boot is checking up some of the ice. So that is still on the ground, that is under the snow on your sidewalks, your driveway, possibly still on these main roads right now. As Daniel mentioned, we might be seeing some black ice, we never know. So if you do have to head out on the road, it's important that you take your time, be extra cautious, or if you can wait just a little bit later when the sun does come out, hopefully it will melt some of that ice away. But yeah, just be very safe if you do have to head out this morning. And coming up on News 19 Saturday morning, we'll hear from the county's emergency management director about how the rest of the county looks this morning after all of the snow that we got right here in Fairfield County. But for now, I'm going to toss it back over to you, Andrea.
All right, thank you, Ty. Yeah, the folks in Fairfield have had quite an eventful week. First, they had an ice storm in Fairfield County, and now, of course, everybody is waking up to the white stuff. And now that is the same for Sumter. However, it seemed like to me last night, Sumter's snow took the longest to start falling. So let's check in with News 19's Kaylin Hagwood. And Kaylin, you've been there all night. What time did it finally start to see the white stuff?
Right around 11 o'clock, Andrea, is when we started to see that snow fall down. I know a lot of families were at home looking at the other counties in the Midlands, maybe a little bit jealous, but we actually started to see some around 11, and a lot of it has kind of, fizzled out for the most part, at least downtown. I got a little, what could be a snowball potentially. But what we're seeing is what we continue to see here is that ice that is forming. And so that is a concern, especially if you're out on the roadways. As I was kind of walking across the street, I did slip a little bit. So again, they're wanting folks to stay out from being downtown. And people have pretty much been heeding that warning. If you take a look downtown, not very many cars to show and just a little bit of snow downtown as the weather continues to happen. But I want you guys to hear from the fire chief, division chief, Joey Duggan, about what they've been seeing throughout the night.
Sumter has heeded the warnings and have stayed in for the most part. The fire department did run a couple accidents that were on the road, not a lot of significant injuries at any of the accidents that we're aware of. And then we also did have a house fire. And we were able to directly relate that to a fireplace.
Now, Chief Duggan does say that they believe there were no injuries expected in that house fire. They believe everyone is expected to be okay, rather, should I say. But what they are saying is that if you do have to come out of the roads, it's not recommended, but the main roads, they say, seem to be pretty okay. The secondary roads, not as much. So, again, advise that you stay at home and stay safe and warm. Reporting live here in Sumter, Kaylin Hagwood, News 19, WLTX.
All right, very good advice, Kaylin. Yeah, you can just watch the snow outside your window, keep it tuned to WLTX. No need to go driving out in it to experiment. For sure. All right, staying now in the eastern part of the Midlands, our News 19's Walker Lawson has been in Camden and has been in Camden all night. And even though you're not too far down the road from Sumter, it looks like you've got a lot more snow than we just saw from Kaylin. How's it looking now in Camden, Walker?
Good morning, Andrea. We have quite a bit of snow, and it's also pretty cold out here this morning. We walked out to our vehicle and couldn't even get the doors to open. But if you take a look behind us, I want to show you some of the roads. This is a secondary road behind me. It is completely covered in snow. It's frozen over as well. We were sliding a little bit when walking across the parking lot. Now, if you take a look behind me to US 521, we've seen snow plows out this morning. They've been out plowing the roadways, so the main roads look pretty good. The secondary roads, not so good this morning. But yeah, we did get quite a bit of snow. It is quite the fluffy and powdery snow, so not the perfect snowball making snow for people here. But yeah, it is cold and there is a ton of snow on the ground. And coming up a little bit later, we're going to check in to see how conditions are doing around the rest of Kershaw County. Reporting live in Camden, I'm Walker Lawson, News 19 WLTX.
All right, Walker, thank you so much. Yeah, it's amazing what a few miles can do, because you can see he's got plenty more snow in Camden than they saw out in Sumter. All right, we've been telling you all morning to not go out on the roadways, but there's those folks that of course have to. So let's check in with South Carolina Highway Patrol. Our friend Trooper David Jones is joining us on the phone now. And David, I know you guys were preparing for this all week. What's it looking like out there this morning?
You know, Andrea, great job to the street squad out there reporting. They're getting all the coverage, and going what they're saying. You know, a lot of these roadways, secondary roadways, may be a little bit different than the main road. So if you travel from Columbia and you head towards the coast, for instance in Charleston, they're seeing a lot of ice and accumulation on some of these overpasses, which is totally different from what we're seeing in Richland or Lexington County. So be mindful of that. Slow your speed. Limit your distractions. Just know that some of these secondary roadways may be a little different from one county to the next. So do your best part to be safe, be cautious, follow along the team on your television to see what is out and about in the Midlands, but try and stay off the roads if possible.
Very good advice. Let me ask you this, Now, I know as a Clevelander, if you are out driving in this, you are not supposed to slam on your brakes. But will you explain to our viewers the dangers of trying to make a sudden stop in conditions like this?
Yeah, and that's what's so dangerous. Whenever you see these overpasses that may encounter some black ice, or you see some secondary roadways where ice is formed, it's important to reduce your speed. And when you do go to stop, never slam on brakes. Just hit your brakes lightly, let your anti-lock brakes do the work. And if you start to spin out of control, counter steer. But again, best practice, wait a couple hours, let these temps warm up, let some of these roadways clear, and that's going to be the safest time for you to travel. But again, as you head from one county to the next, I know my counterparts down along the coast are seeing totally different conditions than we are in the Midlands. So if you're going to be heading towards the coast of South Carolina, know that some of these overpasses have seen some ice, some roads have frozen. But to give a shout out to the South Carolina Department of Transportation, as we're out and about, these men and women are in full force, putting salt brine on the road still. Today with plowing, so they're doing a great job keeping these roadways clean. But for the secondary roadways and for some of these more rural areas, or even some of the roads that's in the shaded areas of South Carolina, just be mindful that it may take a little longer for those roads to clear.
All right, really quickly before we let you go, Trooper Jones, our viewers were just looking at a bridge over Broad River, and we know here in the Midlands we have quite a few bridges. Why are bridges a little extra dangerous when the conditions are like this outside?
Well, you know, those are the first ones to freeze because they don't have the insulation under them like a regular road would have with the warmth of the earth. So be mindful when you cross these bridges. Again, DOT has done a tremendous job putting salt brine out throughout the week. This wasn't a thing that we just started seeing today. They've been out there daily putting stuff on these bridges. So a lot of our bridges here in the Midlands are good. However, when you start to head towards the coast, conditions may change. So be mindful of that. Again, reduce your speed limit, distractions, wear your seatbelt, wait a few hours, tune in to Ty and Kayla and the rest of the crew on WLTX to get your coverage and to see what it's like around the Midlands. But stay home in the warmth and stay off the roads if you can.
All right. Thank you so much, Trooper Jones. Thank you for all the work everybody has done at the South Carolina Highway Patrol and SCDOT this week. We sure appreciate you, and you stay safe as well.
Thanks.
We'll check in just a little bit. Really quickly, is it possible to put that camera back up that we were just looking at? The camera, by the way, just so you guys know, those are not drips of water. Those are frozen icicle drips on the top of the camera. It'll be interesting to see what time of the day those melt. You can see the live time there, 8:44. So 8:44, that water is frozen on the camera, which is, of course, high above the road here, 26. We know the higher it goes, the colder it goes, and the easier it is to freeze. So let's go ahead and see when that melts for us. Okay, now my favorite part of a snowstorm, we get to see pictures from you. And thank you to everybody who's been flooding the News 19 text line at 776-9508, texting us your pictures. This may be the tiniest snowman ever and the cutest snowman ever. This is Paige in this is Paige in Lake Carolina. Her sweet boys outside enjoying the snow. This looks like my boy last night who tried to go out in shorts, and I was like, no, you do not wear shorts out in the snow. A beautiful snow angel being made here. You know what? This is bucket list. If you only have a little bit of time, go ahead and do it. Lots of snow if you look on the car behind the Moore family. Very thick coating there. We're not quite sure what part of Columbia they are in. And somebody decided to get busy and have a little fun on the roadway. Somebody and their, I think, little feet went around and scooted a beautiful pattern in the roadway. I'll tell you what, if a kid had a Hot Wheel outside, that would be a lot of fun right now. Hey, if you don't want to build a snowman in the grass, why not take the snow that God has put on your car and turn it into an adorable snowman? Thanks to the News 19 viewer that sent this in. And this is Harvey and Hadley sledding in Camden, where we just checked in with our News 19's Walker Lawson. We know they got quite a bit of snow. It looks like one of them might be having a little more fun than the other. And next, let's head out to the northeast part of Columbia. Or no, this is actually Irmo. This is Michelle Allen out in Irmo and her sweet, beautiful dog enjoying the snow. Hey, you can play ball. You can play ball even in the snow. Don't worry about it. My dog actually went outside as well last night and really enjoyed it. So, okay, so we see the snow coming down in this video from Michelle and Irmo. Thank you so much for sending this in. Let's find out when this is going to melt. Let's check in again with meteorologist Daniel Bonds. Daniel, I saw that ice just crusted onto the camera over 26. What time-ish do you think this is going to be starting to melt?
By the time the sun comes out later this morning, a lot of it on the roads will melt, and some of those, we'll say, higher elevations and some of those elevated surfaces, it may linger a little bit, and especially in those shaded areas as well. You're talking these places that got a little bit more in the way of snowfall, maybe Camden, maybe even parts of Lexington, Columbia, maybe even Winsboro. It may linger a little bit. So we'll have to kind of watch that over the next day or so. We're also watching the sun starting to peek out behind the clouds. This is a live look over towards Williams-Brice Stadium. So the sun comes out, it'll help at least melt the icy conditions on the roads. It's going to be a chilly day though. High temperatures only in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. The record, some people remember this record. This was back in 1985. The record for today was 7 degrees, single digits. Now we're going to be cold tonight, not quite single digits, but we possibly could have the coldest night we've had so far this season tonight and early tomorrow morning. Obviously, that's the next bigger weather story if you're looking for another weather story out there. Right now across the Midlands, quiet, but you notice got some clouds. We also have some breaks in those clouds. So as we mentioned, those breaks will allow some sunshine to return and will help melt a lot of that ice that's on the roads and the snow that's on the roads as well. Temperatures are cold though, mid to upper 20s as of 8:30. That's only half the story. You mix in the wind, it feels even colder. Wind chills, teens, St. Matthews, Bishopville, Saluda. Elsewhere, we're generally in the mid to low 20s. That's what it feels like. So if you're going to send the kids out, or maybe you're going to go outside and enjoy some of this snow before it's all done, or at least before it melts away, you do want to bundle up because it is pretty cold outside. Let's put our forecast into motion for you. Pick things up at 1:30. Notice the sun returns. A lot of sunshine out there. Clear skies tonight. That will allow our temperatures to drop into the teens, possibly low 20s. Certainly in Cedar Creek, some of those traditionally colder spots, you're talking teens. Looking ahead towards Sunday afternoon, a lot of sunshine, temperatures a touch warmer, and then gradually will be a touch warmer, it looks like, on Monday, the start of the new work week. So temperatures will be a little bit warmer, but still below what we typically would expect for this time of the year. For today, temperatures struggling into the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. The sunshine is going to return today. And then, as we've been talking about all morning long, cold tonight. We'll go 19 Newberry, Winnsboro, Bishopville, low 20s elsewhere. So a cold night on tap. So we do want to go ahead and talk about the 5 Ps when it comes to this very cold weather. You want to protect people, pets, protect your pipes, plants, and also practice fire and heating safety. You don't want to do anything crazy to keep your house warm, but those are the 5 Ps when it comes to this very cold weather. 48 degrees tomorrow, 50 degrees on Monday, scattered showers on Tuesday, a little cooler with highs probably in the upper 40s, mid 40s Wednesday, Thursday, and I almost don't even want to say it. We'll be tracking another potential system, it looks like, on Friday. Still a long ways out right now, but something we'll be kind of focusing on. High temperatures right now on Friday, 43 degrees, but that potentially could be our next weather maker. I'm done with ice or snow, Andrea. I'm ready for summertime, but it looks like things are going to be pretty chilly over the next 7 days.
I hear you. I never wanted this snow in the first place, but I'll tell you what, we asked our News 19 viewers yesterday on our morning show who was excited for snow, and I would say resoundingly about 90% of the folks said yes. So we got overruled. Okay, let's check in with more weather watchers. This is Greg Barnes from Columbia, who was excited to see the tree coming down on the beautiful fir in his front yard, and then he went to go check on his cars. And they are looking like nice marshmallows, that's for sure. Thank you to Greg for sending these in. And then Raja Davis, a weather watcher out in Blythewood. We know, and I know from our own Darcy Strickland, that in the Blythewood area, they got quite a bit of the white stuff. Now, I always judge, the way we always judge snow is if it was even considered significant is if you can't see the grass. You know, some places you can see the snow and the grass under it. This is one of those places where you really just see snow. That's pretty impressive. This is from Jen in Columbia that says it was nothing but snow last night. And then Dawn Allred's yard in Winnsboro, another News 19 weather watcher that was very excited to see the peaceful snow outside. Jeff Spires in Winnsboro, thank you for sending us this picture. I see some feet marks out in that snow, so I think he and his family got a chance to go out and enjoy it. But we got to check in with our girl in Sumter, News 19's Kaylin Hagwood. And Kaylin, from Twitter and from everything we were hearing, it seems like the folks out in Kaylin had to wait the longest, and I know you were one of those folks. So what time did we finally start seeing the wet stuff out in, or the white stuff out in Sumter?
Around 11 o'clock, Andrea, is when it really started to come down, and me and my photographer Chris, we were excited for it because it kind of felt like the anticipation built up and it finally comes, and folks are finally getting to enjoy it. We're just outside the Hyatt downtown, and this is actually Mr. Gary and his grandchildren. They are playing in the snow here for a wedding. Let's see if we can chat with them. Gary, do you have a minute to chat with us? I know you guys are a little busy having fun. Hold on. Maybe we'll have a snowball fight. Gary, well, we want to make sure that she is okay. Let's make sure Marielle is okay. Now, while he goes and grabs her to make sure everything is good, let's tell you a little bit about the conditions that we've been seeing around Sumter. So, the roads, again, we are kind of seeing a bit of a winter wonderland right here just outside the hotel. But in terms of the roads, things are a little bit more clear. Not as much snow as what we're seeing in some of the other areas. Hi, Mary Ellen, you want to play? Oh, my goodness. Do you want to say something to the folks at home about your snow? Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about the snow today?
That I don't have it at home, but Mommy showed me a picture at my house.
Okay, and you're from Lexington, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you look like you're having a lot of fun. What's the best part about this? What's the best part about the snow?
That we're playing snowball fight.
All right, and Gary, come in here and tell us, what are your thoughts on everything that you're seeing today?
We haven't had snow since 2014, and we're going to enjoy it till it melts today, right? Yeah.
And here for a wedding,
We are for Maddie and Jay. They're going to get married tonight, and it was a special snow day on their wedding day.
Well, did they? I'm sure they're getting a lot of excitement on a wedding day. I'm sure they weren't expecting something like that.
And we got 5 inches back at home, so it's everywhere.
All right, well, something to look forward to. Thank you so much for your time, Gary.
Thank you.
All right, I'll let them keep having fun. I'm going to send things back to you, Andrea.
I love it. So wait, Maddie and Jay's wedding is tonight in Sumter, and it didn't get canceled despite the snow, Kaylin. That's a good thing.
It did not get canceled. You know what? I think you guys were celebrating just downtown last night, right? Is that correct? All right, they were celebrating on Main Street here in Sumter last night as the snow was just beginning to fall. So, you know, maybe this is good luck for a long wedding.
There
we
you
certainly
go.
do hope for a long and successful marriage, and you guys be safe out here, okay?
All right, I love that, Kaylin. Let's claim that. Allegedly, rain is good luck on a wedding day, so let's hope snow is the same thing. And by the way, go ahead and nail Mr. Gary with a snowball now, because he put snow in your hood. Check your hood, and then feel free to throw a snowball back at Mr. Gary.
I know.
How dare he? Get him. Get him. All right, we'll give her time to get him back. She's going to get him back. I know she will. All right, we've got our team coverage this morning across the Midlands, and News 19's Ty Wong spent the night out in Winnsboro. Ty, you've never spent so much time in Winnsboro as you have in the last week with first the ice storm and now the snowstorm. How's it looking this morning?
Yeah, Andrea, I have not spent so much time in Winnsboro, but I love it. I might move here just like Daniel Bonds. But back to the weather right now. It is very cold, as he mentioned earlier. And as you can kind of see right here, these footprints, they actually froze. So now these are ice footprints right here. And I was able to kick part of it up. I'm going to try to pick it up for you. As you can see, yeah, that's a foot. That's actually my foot, actually, my boot. But yes, as you can see, there is still ice here prevalent in Winnsboro. And you can kind of hear a car just drove by over the ice. But luckily, this time around, ice isn't as big of an issue as it was last week. Now, the town of Winnsboro manager did tell me yesterday that they were prepared. They did upgrade all of those utilities to ensure that no power went out, no water issues. And that's exactly what happened. There have been no power outages that have been reported or any water issues that have reported, so that is good. Winnsboro is looking pretty good here. Like the roads right here, pretty clear. This is 321. This goes straight through Winnsboro, and then on the other side of the shopping center, it's downtown Winnsboro, and that's looking pretty nice as well. But like I said, you know, it is very cold outside. Things are freezing very rapidly. So if you do have to go outside, please be careful. And if you are on the roads, maybe try to delay your trip just a little bit for the sun to come out later on today and melt some of that ice off. But for now, reporting live in Winnsboro, Ty Wong, News 19 WLTX.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Ty, I've never seen a frozen footprint before. Hold that up to the camera again. Look at that. That's incredible. Okay, please tweet out that is incredible. Please tweet out a picture so we can retweet that. Make sure you're following Ty Wong on Twitter. He does a good job of updating you. All right, let's check in now with some of our News 19 viewers. You have been sending us videos and pictures literally all night long, and we have to thank you for that. Wow, I love Vivian's car. This is Vivian Smith in Eastover sending a picture of her snow coming down on her beautiful car there. Oh, this just looks beautiful and serene. This is a front yard by Kathy in Lake Carolina, and it looks just picture perfect. Looks like a Christmas morning there. Next, Bob Wolf wanted to get technical and show that yes, in fact, in Columbia, we have gotten 2 inches of snow. Check that out. Pretty incredible there. And then Anne in Columbia sent a picture from her front porch. I can tell from this though, Anne was not going outside to get a News 19 weather watcher picture. She took this safe from her porch, and if you notice, there was no footprints in her snow. Okay, what's going on in Lugoff? Well, this is the scene for our friends out in Lugoff. Thanks so much to the News 19 viewer who sent this in. Those cars have a very thick covering. And then finally, we want to show Blythewood because this ruler says it's almost 3 inches of snow in Blythewood. And now we have got a little look at kids out enjoying it. Now, this is something I don't know that they're doing up in Cleveland, but you know, it's warm enough that that trampoline isn't totally frozen solid, and Jesse Williams and their family decided to enjoy it. Finally, Miriam Hampton sent in this video. Please, oh, Sean Coleman, I love a doggy in the snow. Please keep sending us your videos and pictures. We love to see them. We will be back with another update for you on News 19 at 11 o'clock. Make sure to follow us on social media.
Earlier this morning, I did speak with the Fairfield County Emergency Management Director, and he tells me overall they're looking really well county-wide.
You know, last weekend we were dealing with a lot of ice, and actually about this time, this past Sunday is when the wind came in, and that's when it started to really affect those trees and limbs, which led to our power outages. With the snow, we have not seen the buildup on the power lines and trees that we saw last week, just snow on the ground. You know, and also it's a lot nicer just to look at. But so we have not seen, there have been no power outages reported to us in Fairfield County.
Now, as the sun does continue to come out and melt all the snow, it's really nice that it's doing that for us, but it's going to cause another problem later on tonight, and I'll explain why later on in the hour. But for now, reporting live in Winsboro, Tai Wong, News 19 WLTX.
All right, Ty, thank you so much. Now we are going to continue with our team coverage, and Kaylin Hagwood is out in Sumter today, and Sumter really was our area that got snow the latest. Those folks were waiting, and I was watching them on Twitter. They started to lose faith, Kaylin, thinking at 9 o'clock when we were seeing snow here in Columbia that they were left out, but then that was not the case. What's going on in Sumter this morning?
They did, but we do have, like you've been calling it the white stuff all downtown Sumter, but it's starting to thaw out. So sadly, it seems like the snow day in Sumter is coming to an end, at least slowly but surely. I want you to take a look behind me at North Lafayette Drive, where it's not a whole lot of cars, but certainly more traffic than it has been for much of the day as folks begin to get back out. And even some of the businesses starting to open back up, and we're starting to see more people coming out, getting a snack, and then heading back home. But I want you guys to hear from the division chief, Joey Duggan, with the Sumter Fire, who talked about what they are seeing if you do plan to head out on the roads.
The main roads, for the most part, seem to be pretty clear, but the secondary roads were still of some concern. So we would recommend that, give it a little time before you start getting out much. But again, the secondary roads could still pose some of a threat. But other than that, we have been very, very fortunate.
And a little bit more from the chief. He actually said that overnight they saw a couple of accidents, but no major injuries, as well as a fire at a home due to what they believe is a fireplace that caused that. Again, they expect everyone to be okay. And as you're getting out, they say if you can, stay home, but be safe, drive slowly, and I guess enjoy the snow. Reporting live here in Sumter, Kaylin Hagwood, News 19 WLTA. It's going to toss things over to our Walker Lawson now.
Hey, good afternoon, Kaylin. Yeah, the same is going on here. We're starting to see that melting of all the snow. It's really starting to disappear. So I want you to take a look at the roadways behind me. They're pretty clear now. You can see there's not many people out and about. It seems to be quite quiet, maybe one or two cars going out, but the roads are starting to dry up. And earlier today, I spoke with Sheriff Lebone about what they've seen in the area so far as reports for car accidents today.
No, I haven't got accidents at all reported. I guess people were actually driving responsible, and because today's Saturday, most people aren't at work, so that kept the traffic down a little bit. So it's like everybody took all the warnings out there, and they're playing well.
And that they are. We have not seen any issues out here on the roadways. And it is Saturday, so not many people out and about. It looks like everyone stayed home. Now, Andrea, you said you wanted to see it all. So we decided that we would try to build a snowman for you guys. I don't know how long it's going to last, but if you check back in with me a little bit later, we'll see if he's melted or if he's still hanging out. But as for now in Camden, I'm Walker Lawson, News 19. Back to you, Andrea.
Walker, I don't mean to not encourage you, but do you need a couple of instructions on how to build a snowman before we move on?
Yes, I was just telling our photog, I said, this is the best snowman we can get. Just a few sticks, a few branches, and whatever snow's left over here.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give you the gold star for effort there, my friend. But next time you might want to check with Anna and Elsa for a little tips on how to build a snowman. I don't know that your team has done it, but please take a picture and tweet it out so we can get a closer look. Thank you, Walker.
Yes, of course.
We can't have these Southerners out making these snowmen. It just doesn't look right. All right. Well, earlier this morning, we got a chance to speak with Trooper David Jones with the South Carolina Highway Patrol, and he says the DOT had been very busy pre-treating all of our highways and all the local roadways and state routes as well, so that the snow now is melting, but he still urges drivers stay off the road until it melts, especially our bridges.
You know, a lot of these roadways, secondary roadways, may be a little bit different than the main road. So if you travel from Columbia and you head towards the coast, for instance in Charleston, they're seeing a lot of ice and accumulation on some of these overpasses, which is totally different from what we're seeing in Richland or Lexington County. So be mindful of that, slow your speed, limit your distractions. Just know that some of these secondary roadways may be a little different from one county to the next. So do your best part to be safe, be cautious, follow along the team on your television to see what is out and about in the Midlands, but try and stay off the roads if possible.
All right, very good advice there from our friend Trooper Jones. And like we said, South Carolina Department of Transportation was working on brining the roads all week, but they did send out a warning this morning about the possibility of black ice, and this could continue throughout the night as some of those wet roads could refreeze this evening. So the department says black ice is a thin layer of ice that's so clear you can see through to the road underneath, especially when it appears wet. But when temperatures dip below freezing, it turns into ice. This can be especially difficult to see on bridges, so be very careful. And let's be honest, most of us here in South Carolina don't have a lot of experience with driving in the snow. So here are a couple more tips to keep in mind if you do go out right now or again tonight when the roads could possibly refreeze. It is recommended you never use your cruise control in icy conditions. That could cause your car to slide. Next, be sure you leave plenty of room between you and the car in front of you in case you've got to brake. Also, to prevent from rear-ending somebody, just stay multiple cars behind. Never, ever slam on your brakes in the ice because that will cause your car to skid. And lastly, stay calm. Steer into a skid if you go that way and help maintain control of the car. So those are your tips. And in preparing for another winter storm, crews with the State Department of Transportation, like we said, they were out all week long spreading down brine and salt on the roads to make sure that this did melt when it started to fall last night. This was the scene earlier this week as they were pre-treating I-20 in Kershaw County. The department says that don't drive in freezing conditions if you don't have to. So don't go out sightseeing the snow, y'all. Just look at it from your front porch. All right, we want to take a look now at power outages across our state. Here are the latest numbers. They're always changing from Dominion Energy. They're reporting right now 22 outages. The South Carolina Electric Cooperative currently says there are 407 meters without power. The county is seeing the most outages in Orangeburg right now. They're seeing 377 outages in Orangeburg because of this winter weather. So ahead of the storms, crews with Santee Cooper and Fairfield Electric Co-op were preparing for these outages by increasing staffing numbers to help restore any outages, and Santee Cooper even recruited a little extra helicopter support. If you happen to experience any sort of power outages this morning or throughout the day, we want to give you tips on staying warm because it's cold out there. So first, close off all rooms. That avoids wasting heat. So go through your house, close the doors. Next, close your blinds or your curtains. You want to keep the heat that you have inside. Stuff towels and rugs under doorways. Any place that you see and feel cold air coming into the house, stuff it and wear layers of loose-fitting, lightweight clothing. And lastly, be sure to eat and stay hydrated. Food provides energy and warmth to your body. Avoid alcohol. This is not the time you want to pull out that bottle of wine if you're cold, or caffeine. So there's some good advice on staying warm in case your heat goes out. And as temperatures are going to dip below 30s again tonight, we know many of you are currently using your space heaters and your fireplaces to stay warm. So here are some reminders from the Columbia Fire Department on how to practice proper heat safety. The fire department says to keep anything flammable at least 3 feet away from your heating equipment, again, like your fireplace or your space heater. You should also keep kids and pets away from your heaters. The department says never use an oven to heat your home, and turn off those heaters when you leave the room or go to bed. Also, never use a heating pad or electric blanket when you are going to sleep, since they are a fire risk. All right, let's take a live look at Lake Murray. Yep, way too big to freeze, but it does look awfully cold out there. I don't see any boaters. We're going to be back with Daniel Bonds and another check of the rest of today's forecast next. You're watching News 19. All right, you're watching our winter weather coverage here on News 19 WLTX, and I got to tell you, this is hands down my favorite part of our snow coverage. Looking at your adorable pictures. Is that a Carolina snowman I see? I like your taste there. This adorable sweetie, Alexis, this is from Alexis Rush, out in the snow, enjoying it. I don't know where Alexis is. That must be up in the Blythewood area because that looks like a lot of snow. And I told our producer, Eric, find us some cute puppies experiencing snow for the first time. That little fella seemed to have no problems with the cold. Jessica showing us her twinkle lights and a little snow on the branches there. And from Chris Collins, yeah, now's not the time to go down that slide, honey. You'll definitely get your pants wet if you do. That's an adorable picture, though. Thanks to all of our News 19 viewers who sent them in. And Daniel, I was one of the people like waiting at my window last night. I even tweeted you at like maybe 8. You said it was snowing in Winsboro. We were still waiting, but when everybody opened their eyes today, we got exactly what we wanted, which was a nice layer of the white stuff.
A nice layer, and this is really a South Carolina snowfall because it's going to be melting pretty quickly as the sun continues to shine across the Midlands. But a couple of records set yesterday. The largest snowfall on record for January 21st. The old record was 1/10 of an inch, so obviously that one was broken. Haven't had any snow, at least an inch or more, since February 12th, 2014, and we haven't had a trace of snow or more since January 7th, 2017, 1,839 days. And the consecutive days without an inch or more, that's the largest or the longest record of such in Columbia. 2,899 straight days without an inch or more of snow. All broken yesterday. That snow will continue to melt as the sun continues to come on out. It's still pretty cold outside though, 32 degrees in the capital city. We're only warming up into the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. Very cold tonight. Lows dropping down into the upper teens to low 20s, 48 degrees tomorrow. A little warmer on Monday with a lot of sunshine with highs right around 50 degrees. Well, there's your forecast. News 19 Saturday morning will return in just a few minutes.
Well, your winter storm coverage continues here on News 19 this morning. Okay, this is a good looking snowman if I've ever seen one. Maybe these folks need to call up our Walker Lawson and give them a couple of pointers. This is a very gorgeous snowman, I think, in the Lake Carolina area. And then this is Paige, also in Lake Carolina. And we have got a little baby Yoda braving the cold and a sibling who shouldn't be wearing shorts outside. A gorgeous snow angel being made here in the Midlands. And look at this happy puppy out in Irmo. This is from Michelle, and Michelle said, you know what, my doggy was all excited to be outside and said, let's play ball, let's play ball. Okay, never mind, let's just keep playing in the snow. And at least, Michelle, you could get your dog to go outside. Michelle says, though, that was the first winter weather that the dog had seen. So Daniel, whether you enjoyed it last night or you enjoyed it this morning, I know everyone's having a great time, but how much longer is the fun in the snow going to last? When is it going to melt?
Yeah, it's going to start melting away. Just looking out the window now, we've got a good bit of sunshine even here in Columbia, so that snow's not going to last very long, but it is going to remain cold today. It's cold right now as well. Temperatures generally in the low 30s all across the Midlands as of 11 o'clock. You mix in the winds, so it feels even colder. Got wind chills in the mid to low 20s. Only looking for high temperatures in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. Tonight, clear and very cold. Lows potentially dropping into the teens and low 20s. So we do want to go ahead and mention the 5 Ps when it comes to very cold weather. Protect people, protect pets, protect your pipes, protect your plants. I don't know how many of us have outdoor plants at this point because it's still pretty cold outside. And also practice fire and heating safety because it is going to be pretty cold tonight. It's not going to warm up a whole lot over the next few days. 48 degrees on Sunday, 50 degrees on Monday, back into the upper 40s Tuesday, mid-40s by Wednesday, so not a lot of warm weather in the forecast. We'll take another look at that forecast, so coming up in just a few minutes. Andrea?
All right, thank you so much, Daniel. Well, we've been covering several counties this morning. News 19 has you covered. We've got our reporters all over the Midlands. Now we want to check in with our friend, News 19's Walker Lawson. And I know, Walker, you don't have a TV out in front of you, but I got to say, we did get a picture from some News 19 viewers that really showed up your sad snowman.
I heard you talking about it, and it's really funny. I had a resident come up to me right after you said that, and he said, "That's a sad-looking snowman." So I feel a little sad, but we're going to try to resurrect it. So I want you guys to take a look. We tried to fix him just a little bit. I gave him a nice hat. Now he's smiling. We made him a little bit taller, so I think that helped out. But, you know, Andrea, I'm a little surprised. There's no kids out here, it seems like, building snowmans or making snowballs. I would love to see a snowball fight. I used to love those, but it doesn't seem like there's many people out here in downtown Camden today.
That's okay. I feel like we got to be okay with that because we did tell everybody to stay home. But your snowman does look, you've upped your street cred with the snowman. It does look a little better than it was looking before. At least now we can tell what he's.
We tried our best.
At least we can tell what he's supposed to be. You can always try to start a snowball fight. Just don't get yourself in any trouble.
I know. I was thinking about throwing one at my photog, but I won't do that.
If you do, just get it right in the camera lens. Let's see. Let's see if you can do it. Go ahead, toss one right at the camera.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh no.
Okay, just just a toss. There we go. Go ahead.
We went over the camera.
Okay, that's all right. All right, stay with us. We're going to check back in with our reporters and have more forecasts from Daniel Bonds right after this. You're watching News 19. All right, the time now is 11:30 on this snowy Saturday. You know what, I'm going to keep saying that because I bet it will be a decade before I get to say it again. Thanks for joining us. I'm Andrea Mockin for Julia Kaufman, who you will see later today. She's out on assignment covering all the winter weather. So we have to say again, thank you so much to all of our News 19 viewers. Oh, hi, sweet Harvey. This is his first snow in Camden, but baby, don't eat the snow. Don't eat the snow. You'll learn that lesson the hard way. I did growing up in Cleveland. Lake Watery, looking picturesque and absolutely beautiful this morning. Okay, now those are some big snowballs from these two cute News 19 viewers. I hope y'all did not throw those at your mama after you were done making them. This is Cabry Gordon in Irmo. That looks like a very snowy parking lot. I just want to share this picture of my dog Samson enjoying the snow day. I want to know, though, whose job is it to dry Samson off when he gets back in the house? This is a winter wonderland from Becca in Sumter. The pool looks beautiful, but don't be jumping in it. Here's some more News 19 friends enjoying the snow. They got out just in time. This is Kennedy. Yesterday, 11 months old, and seeing her very first snow. She looks like she approves of it. All right, let's check in with our friend, meteorologist Daniel Bonds. And Daniel, really, the forecast that you and the News 19 meteorologists have been putting out ahead of time was exactly right, and we got about 2 inches of snow, which is what y'all had predicted. Yeah, the forecast was actually pretty good, and I think overall, I think we did a good job of showing where the most snow was going to be, and we had a pretty good idea of how much we were going to get to, and that's always tricky when it comes to snow in the south, how much you're going to get. Here are some of the totals from the co-op reporters around the Midlands. A little over 3 inches. Blythewood, 3 inches in Camden, Elgin, Lexington, and Bishopville picked up about 2.5. Irmo, a little over 2 at Little Mountain. Ridgeway and Winsboro, 2, and Sumter had 1. That 2-inch report from Winsboro, I'll go ahead and tell you that one was my report. But if you put together all those totals and you kind of put the map together, you can kind of see where it looks like the higher totals were over towards Kershaw County, and then a little bit less as you get into Fairfield, Richland, even parts of Lee, Sumter, and Lexington. Then the farther west and south you go, those totals do drop off, where there were some trace amounts. There was a little bit of sleet and a little bit of freezing rain as well. But you notice the clouds are moving out. There's a live look at downtown Columbia. Things aren't going to warm up a whole lot today, even with the sunshine. Highs in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. Clear and very cold tonight. That's going to be the biggest thing. Clear, very cold tonight. Go ahead and be prepared for that. 48 degrees tomorrow afternoon, 50 degrees on Monday. I've got your 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Andrea? All right, thank you, Daniel. And to keep up with the latest on our weather, make sure you download the News 19 WLTX app. There you can watch live coverage and see your updated forecast right from your cell phone. You don't have to be home. You can also connect with our News 19 meteorologists. Make sure you are following them. I like to especially follow them on Twitter for updates at Efren, Daniel Bonds, Alex Calamia, and Corey. And as well, follow our reporters too. And I highly suggest you follow News 19's Ty Wong, because he tweeted out an awesome picture of his frozen footprint, and Ty is just one of the great reporters that we have out now covering the snowfall. They have been working so hard, and if I'm being completely transparent, all of them spent the night where they are covering the news this morning for you, because we wanted to make sure that we got all of our bases covered and that they were able to safely bring you the forecast. So we're going to start with Ty Wong, who's out in Winsboro. And Ty, I mean, the difference in what it looks like behind you from now till 8 in this morning when we first checked in with you is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, that's right, Andrea. Big difference, very big difference, especially if you want to focus on the roads. The roads right now, you know, this morning there was still a little ice, little snow, but right now it is completely clear. There is just a little bit of water right now, but that's because the sun is shining and it's helping the snow melt away to clear our roads. There is not even a single cloud in sight right now, Andrea. Now, I will tell you, luckily the snow is melting, so it's a good thing for drivers or anyone that needs to get out, but it's going to pose another bigger issue, and that's because as all the snow is melting, it's gonna stay on the road right now. So you can kind of tell right here, it is still fairly wet. Now, if the sun doesn't completely dry all of this water on the road, it's going to be a very big issue later on tonight when the sun does set and temperatures do drop. Officials tell me that it poses a very big hazard because it might turn into black ice. So it's going to, you know, have more problems on the road for the Department of Transportation and for drivers that are commuting around. So the Fairfield County Emergency Management Director tells me to let everyone know, do not get on the roads later on tonight because it is going to pose another safety hazard. Now, speaking about safety hazards and road conditions, I'm now going to toss it over to our News 19 reporter, Caitlin Hagwood in Sumter. Caitlin, how are the road conditions right down there?
Hey, Ty, I'm actually starting to feel a little bit sad. There's a tree here behind me, and the ice is starting to melt off of it, and it's given that feeling of, we're so excited last night that the snow was finally here in Sumter after it took a little while to get here, and now it's starting to melt away. Unfortunately, things are getting back to business downtown. If you take a look, there are a few more cars out, folks getting out again, and you do see the snow out on the ground, but not as much as what we were seeing a little bit earlier. And again, those businesses starting to open up, some folks coming out getting a little bit of fast food and enjoying the snow with their family and friends. Local law enforcement again encouraging folks, if you don't have to come out, to just stay home, enjoy the snow from your home with your family while things thaw out, and they work to make sure the roads are safe. But they have been doing a lot of preparation to make sure that everything can get back up to speed as quickly as possible, including salting those roadways and making sure you stay safe. So I'm going to send things back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Caitlin. So we're out here in downtown Camden, and as I mentioned a little bit earlier, same with you, Caitlin and Ty, seeing the melting continue. So if you take a look, you can just kind of see the ground below me here. We're really starting to see the melt, obviously where I've walked around, but everything is melting. The roadways are a little bit more clearly as well, but grassy surfaces, again, we're starting to see that melting, and tonight that could pose a threat of black ice. But like I said earlier, Andrea had said to you just a minute ago, I wish there was a snowball fight. I guess one of our residents here in downtown Camden was watching and walked out and wanted to have a snowball fight. So unfortunately you guys missed it, but here in Camden, I'm Walker Lawson, News 19 WLTX.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I'm sorry we missed it. Now I hope they ask permission though, Walker, before they throw a snowball at you.
Yes, he stopped in the road and said, "You sure you want to do this?"
Oh my gosh, I love it. Our viewers are the best. All right, thank you so much. We'll check back in with you in a little bit. And all right, let's get down to the statistics now. In case you were wondering, the National Weather Service reported that Columbia Metropolitan Airport received about 2 inches of snow from the storm. The agency says this is the first measurable snowfall since January 8th, 2017, and the first snowfall greater than an inch since February 13th of 2014. How about that? All right, we're talking about what's going on in town, but what happens if you were trying to get out of town today? Well, we want to take a look at the current delays at Columbia Metropolitan Airport. So far, 3 flights have been canceled at our local Columbia Metro. That's according to flightairway.com. The website also reports 4 flights have been delayed. As always, we're going to keep you up to date with the latest information on air and at WLTX.com. Now, we know there was a lot of power outages last week with the ice storms. That's what happens. Trees come down and then can take the power lines down with them. But this is a look at the latest outage numbers. They're obviously constantly changing as of right now. Dominion Energy says there's about 20 outages. South Carolina Electric Cooperative, though, they are showing many more outages, 409 as a matter of fact. Orangeburg alone has 377 outages. So I hope everybody powered up their phones last night. Like we said, charge your devices because they're currently working to get the power back on, but no word on when that will happen. All right, stay with us. We are going to continue our team coverage of this snow here in the Midlands. You're watching News 19 on WLTX. All right, our winter storm coverage continues, and News 19 has teams all across the Midlands to make sure we show what's going on in your area. And our News 19's Kaylin Hagwood is out in Sumter, and dare I say, as bundled up as she is, she did just tell us that she is feeling sad that the snow is starting to melt. Is that true, Kaylin?
You know what? Honestly, I might be overly bundled at this point. Chris, my photographer, has already taken his gloves off. You know what? He has decided that the snow day is just over. I'm still holding on to it. You know, I'm committed to this continuing, and I know a lot of you guys are at home as well. Let me give you kind of a sense of what we're seeing out here in Sumter today. Okay, we've got more folks getting out on the roadways. A little bit of snow, but not anything too crazy. Certainly not what we were seeing last night. And again, I'm told by officials is that the main roadways are much better to be getting out on, but in terms of those secondary roadways, could be a little bit more dangerous as they work to clear that ice and make sure everything is good and safe for you to do. So a good message for you guys at home to stay home, enjoy the little bit of snow we have left, Andrea, while you can, and we'll certainly continue to hold on to it while we enjoy this snow day here in the Gamecock City and around the Midlands.
You know, we knew it was going to melt quickly, but what's wild is when we saw you at 8:30, there was so much snow in the roads even, you were able to have a snowball fight with some News 19 viewers.
I know, they were throwing snowballs at me, and you know what? I'm still actually at 8:30 right now. It's not actually 11:30 for me. Okay. I'm sorry. So, you know, but I mean, there's still a little snow, so maybe you could still play around with it if you're in the yard. Yeah, but basically the message is you're running out of time, so get out now before it's all gone, because I'm starting to see the grass behind you. All right, we'll check in with you again. Thank you so much, Kaylin. And as we know, we've got our team out in the field, but we want to see your team. We would love to see pictures and videos from your neighborhood. Text them to us at 803-776-9508. Or you can join our weather watchers on Facebook and show us your pictures there as well. All right, I think we're going to do a quick check-in with our meteorologist, Daniel Bonds, now. So how much colder than average are we today, Daniel? On average, we would expect a high much closer to about 57 degrees or so. Today, we're only shooting for a high of about 40, so things are going to be running below normal. And you're talking about our WLTX Weather Watchers page. I don't know how many pictures we got, but that's a good place to go if you want to share your snowy pictures, or even when we go into other seasons when we have other types of weather. Facebook page, WLTX Weather Watchers. We did drop down to 28 degrees this morning, nowhere near the record of 7 set way back in 1985. Some people remember that very cold January back in 1985. It's been cold for us here across the Midlands, certainly not what we saw in 1985, but we dropped to freezing at 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and we haven't been above that since. Even right now in the capital city, we're sitting at 32 degrees, 34 in Orangeburg, it's 30 in Rock Hill and Florence. You mix in the wind, though, it does feel a little bit colder. So if you are going to be heading out, maybe playing in that little bit of snow that's going to continue to melt, bundle up with these wind chill temperatures in the mid-20s for Columbia and Orangeburg. It feels like 21 in Rock Hill and Florence. Our air temperatures are going to be close to 21, it looks like, for tomorrow morning. Our satellite radar composite, this was 24, or I should say 12 hours ago. Notice the snow all across the area, and it's going to continue to kind of push on out. And then notice the clouds have been decreasing as well. So the clouds are decreasing, the sun's coming back out. It is allowing those ground temperatures to warm up, it's allowing that snow to melt, and it's improving our driving conditions across the Midlands. So a lot of sunshine today, clear skies tonight. It's going to be cold tonight too, so be prepared for that. Looking ahead towards Sunday afternoon, a lot of sunshine once again. It looks like as we head into Monday, no real changes in the forecast. Good bit of sunshine. The clouds will start to build in, it looks like, late in the day on Monday. That's going to lead to some rain, it looks like, for Tuesday. But the next couple of days are going to be dry. Chance of rain on Tuesday. For today, high temperatures still running below normal, upper 30s to near 40 degrees with mostly sunny skies. Tonight, lows dropping down into the, we'll say, upper teens and low 20s. In some of those traditionally colder spots, it's going to be even colder than that. Cedar Creek, probably in the mid-teens tomorrow morning. Here's our forecast over the next 7 days. Upper 40s tomorrow, near 50 degrees on Monday. Chance for rain on Tuesday. That'll be liquid form there.
Mid-40s on Wednesday and Thursday, and I'll go ahead and tell you we still do have snow on the ground right now, but we'll be focusing on another system that may impact the weather towards the end of the work week and into the weekend. Right now, small chance for some precipitation with high temperatures right around 43 degrees. So hard to believe we might be talking about a third system that could impact our weather. Andrea?
Even emotionally ready yet to prepare for that, Daniel. So let's just go ahead and put a pin in that for now. And let's look at more of your pictures. I love this. This is Colt, age 13, out in Camden, enjoying the snow. I see a little snowman there. Excellent job, sweetie. And here's two adorable kids who built a snowman and then decided to warm him up with a nice hat and scarf. So cute. This is Owen. He's only 4. This is the first snow he ever experienced. Mama has bundled him up proper and he is having fun. Okay, what is that? It's a snow. Okay, this is adorable Bram. He's 9 and he has made himself a snowball. I think that is a bouncy ball covered in snow. Now go ahead and throw that at your brother. Just kidding. Don't do that. You might get in trouble. Beautiful picture of the lake this morning that looks serene. I can tell somebody took that from their back deck. Okay, snow day from the Dempsey family. The baby born in the bathtub by firefighters from Engine 11. So they stopped by too. That is so awesome. Happy snow day to them. Beautiful picture, Lake Wateree, looking absolutely picturesque, except today is not the day to get in the water, y'all. And this is, hey, we might not know how to build snowmen here in South Carolina, but we sure know how to build a sand castle. So this is a snow castle by Sweet Maddox, just 5 years old, who is bundled up all proper. Okay, finally, some snow angels. This is Annabelle enjoying the snow in Irmo today with a pretty perfect snow angel. Pretty picture of a News 19 viewer's house looking lightly dusted in snow. And I don't think Carol is going to be using this picnic table this evening for dinner. No hot dogs on the grill tonight. This is halfway between Orangeburg and Cope, South Carolina. This looks like the world's most perfect Christmas tree. Unfortunately, we've got to wait another 11 months for Christmas. Miss Jones from Columbia, South Carolina. And Miss Jones, you look great out in the sunshine. And you can continue to send us in your pictures. We absolutely love to see them. I could look at them all morning. And please, if you have pictures of your dog out enjoying the snow, we want to see those too. 803-776-9508. Stay with us. You're watching your winter weather coverage right here on WLTX. Continuing coverage now of the winter storm. I know last week folks out in Winnsboro were hit pretty hard. Some didn't have power for hours at a time. So glad to see that things are melting now there. We want to check in with our News 19's Ty Wong, who spent the night out in Winnsboro. And Ty, even from when we checked in with you at 8 in the morning until now, it's a huge difference of what it looks like behind you.
Yeah, that's right, Andrea. You know, the sun is out, not a cloud in sight, so everything is melting right now, and it's melting at a pretty fast pace. Now, I will tell you, Andrea, I am just a little sad and a little jealous right now, you know, because how fast the snow is melting. I can't have a snowball fight like Kaylin or attempt to build a somewhat better snowman than Walker. But, you know, luckily last night I did get to do a snow angel live on TV with J.R. Barry. Now, Andrea, you know, you were mentioning last night, or mentioning earlier today, that last night, you know, Brady went outside in shorts or tried to go out. Did you happen to go outside and, you know, play around in the snow yourself?
Yeah, so I did. Wait a minute, I got to know more about the snow angel. Where were you when you did that?
I was outside our motel right across the street from Fairfield Square in Winnsboro. So it's right off Route 321.
That is hilarious. You let J.R. Barry peer pressure you into doing a snow angel, Ty?
I did. But you know what? I loved it at the moment, but then when I got up, everything started to melt, and I was like, instant regret. So I was like, let me just toss it back to you, JR.
Yeah, here's what I see in that picture. I see a very cold, very wet and snowy Ty Wong, and I see a very warm J.R. Barry. But you are a trooper, and you definitely took one for the team. Ty, that's it though. That's all you get, because now you got nothing but sunshine out in Winnsboro, huh?
Yep, that is all I got right now, and I am not complaining. So while I'm enjoying the sun right now, Andrea, I'm going to toss it back to you, who's in the studio without the sunshine on you.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Ty. Well, stay with us, guys. We're going to have one final check with meteorologist Daniel Bonds after the break. Keep it here.
Good Saturday morning to you. The clouds are moving on out. Sunshine is returning, and so any of that snow that's currently on the roads is going to continue to thaw. So that's the good news is, let me get this out right. That is the good news if you are traveling this afternoon. 40 degrees this afternoon, 48 degrees tomorrow after a very cold start to the day with temperatures dropping down into the upper teens and low 20s. Near 50 degrees on Monday. We'll see another chance for rain. This will be in the form of liquid, it looks like, on Tuesday. Then we're dry Wednesday, Thursday, and we'll watch our next system could impact the area Friday and or Saturday. So a lot of winter still left across the Midlands. Andrea?
Nobody wants to hear that. Thank you, Daniel. Okay, Ty just asked if we got outside last night. This is my Brady boy. But look at his feet, y'all. He went outside in sandals, and of course, Mama screamed and said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Mom, I can't get my Nikes snowy." So I had to go ahead and give that one to him, give him the W for that. So yes, I did get out in the snow. This is adorable Caroline in Blythewood, who was excited to build herself a baby little mini snowman there. Next, this is Presley Grace is the kitty who's very confused on what the white stuff is outside. Thank you so much to everybody who sent us pictures. Keep it here to News 19 throughout the day. We've got you covered.
Thank you for watching News 19. Did you see a story you loved? Download WLTX on your Roku or Amazon Fire device and watch it again right now.